fellow Hot Wheels collectors. Right, been to a car boot sale, or did ages ago, just haven't had a chance to do a video, been busy. Anyway, let's start things off with the majorettes I have found. First up we have a majorette, what I would presume is just a road roller, because there is no name, but it is definitely majorette. As you can see, moves side to side. These are actually quite a later, commoner majorette wheel for the more industrial stuff. It is majorette because it does say underneath on the bit there. Probably the camera ain't going to pick it up, but yeah. Also as well, they've done a bit of a cheat here. It was obviously made by somewhere in some country. They've blurred it out a little bit, pretty much like my camera has. Now you just see on the bottom part there, that is sort of like meant to be where it's made. Clearly they've removed it. Next up we have a majorette Mercedes 300 TE. Next up we have a majorette Mercedes 300 TE. Sorry about that sudden pause. Dog decided to woof at nothing as usual. Has a cool feature, opening rear boot. Usually they do have some detail in them, and this time 3 very neatly arranged suitcases. So we've got one in that corner, one on the back there where the seats would be. Overall nice. Also as well has a tow bar with little attachment on the back. The only Hot Wheels I have found recently, it's in bad condition but it's one that I needed, is a custom Cougar. It's from a playset, I think 2007 playset. As you can tell, quite bad condition, very well rusted, well used. Again, one I haven't got, so I'll add it to my collection. Next up we have a Micro Machines, or possibly another Hasbro type thing, because it's got Hasbro written on it, so I presume it's not Polly Pocket. Polly Pocket produced sort of like bigger cars. Either way, there it is. It's very basic. I think it's a Hummer or Land Rover, something like that. It is nice though. Small, tiny little car. Right, next I'll move on to the corgis because they're much smaller. First up we have 2 of these, which is the Renault Traffic van, a very rare van nowadays because I've never seen one on the road at all. This is the Grand Hotel courtesy bus. I presume this is sort of like if you went to their hotel back in the day, you would get this as a free souvenir or something to buy in the gift shop. Made by Corgi. The only slight problem is you can probably tell if you look at the back, you can tell the rear seat's up a little bit. Obviously at some stage or another a child has pushed on this so hard it has broken it. But again, can't take it apart. It's in not too bad condition, needs a damn good clean though. But again, haven't got the powers to do that. Next up we have the same one. This is actually quite a rare one as well now. This is AVIS, AVIS, one-way van rental, unlimited mileage. I think these were sort of like your back in the day van rental type people. Again, long since probably gone, so I've never heard of them. Mind you, if you do have a Renault Traffic as well, you're probably not going to get very far mileage wise because, well, I haven't seen any on the road. Right, now you may remember the Crisp Sierra, which I don't have on me, a few videos ago. Well, I found another one. This is a very early one. This is the Ford Sierra 2.3 Gina. But this is the very early Sierra. This is how the Sierra front end looked back in the day. This is probably production line, because it hasn't even got a tow bar. That's how rare this one is, it hasn't got a tow bar. Most corgis do have a tow bar. Apart from the vans, of course, but again, that's because they're a van. They don't normally need a tow bar. Also, as well, I think the other problem as well is because you've got like the pilot hole there, you can't exactly attach another piece of plastic there. It would make it very flimsy. Hasn't been broken off though, as you can tell. Clean cut plastic on the back there. No breaks, snaps, or filed downness. It's very nice to have. Next up, we have another Daimler Fleet line. This time with the OXO cubes on the side. Basic sticker. It says OXO, make it again and again. Whatever that means, old sloganing. There it is just on the corner there. It is very nice, this one. Unfortunately the other side, slight little tear in the corner there, but again, overall, nice condition. One more to add to the collection. Next up we have a Mercedes 300 TD, slightly different from the TE over there. I don't know what the difference is, maybe different engine. Again, these are much later 80s, 90s corgi wheels, because these are really thick and chunky. But again, overall, nice silver car. And yes, you may recognise it, this is the casting that Corgi used, or Hot Wheels used, for their first casting of ex-Corgi models, which, as we know, didn't really last that long. I mean, the Matchbox bus, the double-decker, that didn't last very long, one colouring. The Land Rover, that didn't last very long. The car over there, the only one that seemed to last was the Corgi Porsche Carrera, which I've done a video on. That lasted for quite a few colours before it got final run. And the what was it? The Mustang Cobra, the one that had the lifting hood. I think that had a couple of recolours. Don't know. Anyway, next up, I have finally at last found my favourite American car. Not the UK favourite car, that goes to the Allegro, Princess and Marina. But in America, General Motors, AMC Pacer, made by Corgi. Found this lovely little blue one, very happy with it. I don't know if these do glow in the dark or not, these bumpers. They look like they glow in the dark. They might have just been chromed, because chrome usually wears off like this. But again, absolutely lovely condition, and it is by Corgi, because it says underneath AMC Pacer, Corgi. What makes it even better? I found another one in red. Gorgeous red colour. Slightly of the same age. Tow bar on this one sadly is there, but isn't intact. Again, overall just a nice car to have. Love the AMC Pacer. And of course it's been made famous by Wayne's World. In fact, it seems to be a case of the only two cars that have really been made famous are the Pacer and the DeLorean. Again, the DeLorean has been made famous because of Back to the Future. Hot Wheels have taken that on. So why haven't Hot Wheels brought out a Back to the Future Wayne's World? Maybe their retro classic line will have one. As in which case, I hope so. But again. Anyway, that ends the majorette Hot Wheels miniature matchboxy micro machinesy ones. The Corgis. We now move on to Matchbox. And first of all, we start off with a cool 84 Dodge Daytona Turbo Z. Very cool car this, because it has an opening hood. It did have an opening hood. Hold on. There we go. Now the other cool thing about this is as well, it's got a little plastic insert on the top there. If you look underneath, you can actually see that that is bolted onto there, which is pretty cool. Again, brilliant condition. Shame about the front end, has obviously got water damaged or rusted. It's not that sort of rust, it's more sort of like corroded, I'd say, because definitely looks a little bit corroded. But other than that though, bodywork immaculate, all in good condition, really great to have. Car I had at childhood, and I definitely remember this one, is the Dodge Challenger 1975. This is of course got the Toyman logo on it. Slightly chewed pop-in engine, cracked glass, but again, compared to my one which was smashed years ago, this one is beautiful. Absolutely love this model. Glad to find one. Next up we have yet another Ford LTD police car. This has got the fire depot on it. So obviously when the Hot Wheels brought out their fire chief and police cars, they had to produce one. Here it is. Still got the original side on there, as you can see. Very nice indeed. Chrome is in good condition. Underside is good as well. See, we've got fire chief written on the back end of it. How cool is that? Logo on the top just says fire depot. No idea if that's a logo or one of the made up ones. Still nice though. Next up we have a Pontiac Firebird Racer. Recently on DeviantArt, Sabre Husky, who I have sent a package to, haven't received anything from him. He's not the DA person I've done the videos on. but he recently got a load of toy cars. One of them was this one. Metal body, metal base, very heavy casting indeed, this one. Again, no opening doors, features or anything. Has a cool Vavoline BBS 15, Pontiac V, Champion, Union on the side. Very cool graphics and tampos. On the top it just has sort of like your basic sort of stuff NASCAR would have. Next up we have a Manta Rancho. Not the corgi one, but a Matchbox one. Now I actually thought this was a corgi one because I thought, oh, it's a Manta Rancho, I've got that one. Then I saw the wheels and thought, oh, I know, that's the Matchbox one. Yes, because Corgi did make this one, as well as Matchbox. The only feature is an opening tailgate, not very cool. Tow bar as well. Again, very, very rare beast, this one. This was sort of like your cheaper version of a Land Rover. But again, there is a lot of rare cars out there now. That is one of them. Next up we have yet another, or we have the second Audi Quattro I found. I haven't had a chance to repair the wheels on this one, I think it's just a bit damaged. But it's definitely a nice Audi Quattro. Again, Audi Quattro back in the 80s, if they changed their name, had a different rally company name, they would always sort of like be immediately there to change it. Absolutely beautiful colours. Pirelli written on the front there. Nice indeed. Next up we have an extremely nice one. We have the Pontiac. I presume this is a Firebird. I've already got one of these in blue, may remember from another video. Here is a gold version, but the best thing about this, still has the original sticker tampo on the hood. That is extremely rare to have that on there. Like I say, most back in the day it was usually stickers or very, very cheap transferable paint, which usually if you rub it enough it would come off in your hands. But again, to actually have the stickers still intact on certain cars and models is brilliant. It was only later on in the 80s and 90s that they did sort of like screen printing, or basically printed the colours on when they were sort of like easier to do, because they had to cheapen it. So like rather than having a load of paper with a certain tampo on, they just painted that tampo on. Saved time because someone didn't have to go there, peel it off, carefully place it on, make sure it was all even and not be errored by the production crew. Anyway, next up we have a Chevrolet Corvette from Matchbox. Beautiful red this, with striping on the side. Nice beautiful white stripe on the front there. No idea if it had any other logo or anything on it. Still, it's a Corvette. Beautiful car from Matchbox. Beautifully done. Next up we have a construction vehicle. This is a site dumper. This is a very sweet little dumper truck. Has a cool little tipping feature on the front there. Basic sort of design. This was quite common back in the day, Matchbox producing sort of like construction type toys for kids. And again, most of these in mint condition are very hard to get hold of, because you'll probably have the problem of having to clean out dirt, sand, mud, rust and God knows what else. Because it is literally a case of like kids playing with that in the dirt all the time. And finally we have a very cool 62 Corvette. This has the blue flame logo on it. Absolutely lovely logo, 39 written on it. Just some flames at the side, which are actually coming out of the air intakes there, or the exhaust, or the exit valves for the engine, which is pretty cool. I mean, that is pretty innovative back in the day, to actually put flame, so it does look like it is burning up the highway. Gorgeous front end. Also as well, all this plastic insert is still intact, which is really rare. Same on the back end as well. Usually these bits are chewed off or torn off, but they're in great condition. Officially that is it. I've only got one more video to do, and that's all the other card stuff I found. So thanks for watching, see you next time.